Welcome to Prisha Patter and our cold front porch. Another story from my book, The Old Green Rocker. Beans in your ears? My friend Ramona was fuming. "I can't believe anyone could be so rude," she muttered. "She walked right off and left me in mid-sentence." I smiled, but I wasn't amused. The same thing had happened to me at a coffee shop a short time before. The host had come over to me and asked a question. Before I could respond, she spied a newcomer and left me to greet her. She never returned. Another time, I was at a dinner party in the middle of telling a story that I thought was quite interesting. Obviously, no one else thought so. One guest excused himself to go to the bathroom. The attention shifted to him as he left the room and never returned to me. I looked around for someone who was still listening, but no one was. Realized I was talking to the air. I hushed. I'm sure most of us could recount experiences where we have been made to feel insignificant because we have been unable to hold the attention of our listeners for even a few seconds. Who of us has not experienced talking to someone whose eyes keep shifting around the room, as if to say, "I'll endure this until someone more interesting comes along"? In such a situation, it's often a relief to the speaker when someone else does come along and provide the inattentive listener a means of escape. What's wrong with a society in which people are so obsessed with their own voices and viewpoints that they see little value in what others have to say? If we do all the talking and seldom listen, won't that make us a little empty? Won't we grow shallow if we continue only to throw out our own thoughts and never receive the ideas of others? What has happened to the ability to listen? Listening is a gift that not many people have. We all would like to be clever-tongued, holding an audience spellbound with their knowledge and wit. Who of us does not like to be the center of attention and want people to think of us as entertaining and fun to be around? I would like to be this way myself. However, because of the experiences I've described, and given the choice between speaking and listening, I much prefer the latter. There is an old saying that goes, "A wise old owl sat in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard." Why can't we be like that old bird? Why can't we indeed? I'm sending out a plea and a challenge for listeners, people who will try to develop the art of listening, for it is an art, you know. It takes a very special type of person to be a listener. A listener must not only listen, he must hear. It's like the song where the children sing, "Look, Ma, we've got beans in our ears," and the mother replies, "That's nice, dear, but don't put those beans in your ears." People can usually tell if someone is listening with his whole being or if he is just being polite. To be a good listener, a person should be willing and prepared, if need be, to not talk, or at least to not talk very much. You see, a listener listens. David Eubanks is a great example of a good listener. Thank you, David. Years ago, Taylor Caldwell wrote a book called The Listener. In the story, there was a place where people could go and talk to someone who sat behind a curtain and listened. I won't reveal any more about it, except to say that if you're interested in becoming a listener, read this book. Is anyone listening? Or do we all have beans in our ears? See you next week on Prisha Patter.